After nearly 7 years of production, finally we're going to see Dhruva Natchathiram worldwide in cinemas in a week or so. Now, Gautam Menon replied to a fan on Twitter with this tweet when they were kind of making a joke about how this movie's been in development for so long and how they were in middle school when it first was announced, and now they've, graduated and had a lot of things happen in their life. And I really like this reply because as an artist, I kind of empathize and sympathize with them now because I kind of know the context as to why this film has been delayed for so long. So I wanted to make a video about the long production and long development of the many iterations of Dhruva Natchathiram. And as a fan of Gautam Menon, I'm very excited. I like him as a director. He's a good actor. But the reason why he did all those acting jobs is because he wanted to pay off all the debts and all the costs in order to finally finish the post-production stuff for Dhruva Natchathiram. So here is a historical lesson as to how the Dhruva Natchathiram development and production went for pretty much almost a whole decade. Before Dhruva Natchathiram, we had, or sadly could have had, Johan Adhyayamondra. Now, Johan was actually referenced by Gautam Menon at the Leo Success Meet that happened recently, and he said that sadly that never happened, but he luckily got Leo as the film that he would collaborate with Vijay. Now, originally, this film was going to star Vijay in the lead role, alongside Sameera Reddy, who already worked with Gautam Menon for films like Varanamayaram and also Nadanizi Naihar. At the end of 2011, every single Tamil cinema website was highlighting and promoting this movie. This was the most anticipated movie, and it didn't even go into shooting yet. There were so much posters. All the posters were highlighting this multi-continental espionage thriller that was going to be in many countries. All the posters were saying Mission New York, Mission Paris, Mission China, Mission Rio in Brazil. And it was going to have Vijay in the lead role with Sameera Reddy, with A.R. Rahman's music, and it never happened. Sadly, for some odd reason, it never happened. I think the budget became too big. I think Vijay was doing Tupaki at the same time. And sadly, I think that he thought maybe he didn't want to do two similar-minded films at the same time. And it got dropped. But the idea of Dhruva Natchathiram was born out of this film. So this was kind of the seed that grew into the tree that was Dhruva Natchathiram. And after a couple of years, we got this very mysterious poster that was highlighting the fact that Surya was re-teaming with Gautam Menon and going to team up with A.R. Rahman for a new film called Dhruva Natchathiram. Now, obviously, this was an idea that was born out of Johan, and Dhruva Natchathiram was going to be this extravagant film, again, a multi-continental, multi-country espionage thriller, and it was going to reunite Gautam Menon with Surya after Kaka Kaka and Varanamayaram. As a Surya fan, I was really hyped, and with A.R. Rahman's music, I was even more hyped, and the idea of a spy movie with Surya in the lead role, with Gautam Menon's direction, and with A.R. Rahman's music was very enticing to think about, and they did a promotional campaign, not similar to Johan, but a little more subtle, with like hints of what the movie was going to be about, and they did a puja in terms of like having the film start up shooting. So this was another interesting and very ominous kind of like promotional poster that they did for Dhruva Natchathiram, which was kind of highlighting the amount of people that were supposed to be on the team with Surya's character in the film. And yeah, then came the puja that started off the filming for the movie. So they did a puja for the production start of Dhruva Natchathiram, and they highlighted who was going to be in the movie alongside Surya. So Trisha was going to be the lead heroine alongside Surya in the film, and obviously Trisha was in Virnetani Veravaya, so this was going to be her second collaboration with Gautam Menon, and obviously another collaboration alongside Surya after Either and also Ar. Now, the film was supposed to star alongside the both of them, Parthiban, Arun Vijay, and many others, and was going to have A.R. Rahman's music. But sadly, the film got delayed. Gautam Menon was still working on the script and the ideas for the movie, and Surya was waiting to do this film alongside Anjan, but sadly, he dropped out of the movie, and famously, the movie got dropped. And for the second time, Gautam Menon's spy idea was not able to come into fruition. So he had to wait a couple of years in order to kind of revive and reboot the idea of Dhruva Natchathiram. So after Surya dropped out of the film, Three other people accepted the roles but had to drop out because of prior commitments. So originally, Vikram accepted the role in 2015 but had to drop out because of prior commitments. Jayam Ravi came onto board and he was going to do the film because Gautam Menon liked him in Thaniyuravan, but sadly Jayam Ravi had prior commitments as well, so he had to drop out of the film as well. Rajinikanth actually accepted the role and liked the story for the film, but within the same day, he told the producer of the film, Kalipuli Estanu, that he changed his mind and ended up accepting Kabali instead of Dhruva Natchathiram. So it could have been a movie with Jayam Ravi and Rajinikanth, but we all know that Vikram ended up reuniting with Gautam Menon and accepting the role in 2016. And then on Pongal of 2017, we got this big surprise of a teaser. In my opinion, this teaser for Dhruva Natchathiram is one of the greatest and most well-shot teasers in Tamil cinema history. It is so intriguing, it is so cool, it is so slick and very stylish. And the fact that they shot this all within 14 hours in this one trip to New York City, and they did these multiple promotional posters within that time, is insane. That shows the dedication that Gautam Menon had towards this project. He really wanted this to happen. And from 2017, that's where the roller coaster of, development started for this iteration of Dhruva Natchathiram. And here are some of the promotional posters that they did for the film while they were in New York City for that 14-hour time span to shoot the teaser. And again, these are just promotional posters, but they are way better than some of the posters that are made today in Tamil cinema. And sadly, this is the problem that started with the movie because it was promised to be released in August 2017 at the bottom of these posters. Yeah. This is a little bit of a fun fact if you never knew this, but there is a very mysterious and very ominous voice in that teaser trailer that they shot in New York City that is threatening Vikram's character, and Vikram's character threatens it back. That voice was voiced by none other than Arjun Das. This was supposed to be his debut feature film in Tamil cinema, and Gautam Menon was going to introduce Arjun Das, but sadly because of the delays, Arjun Das would become very famous and kind of debut with the film Kaidi. Now, if his voice and if his character is still in the final product, then we will finally get to see how he would have debuted into Tamil cinema with this film. So because of the development hassles and also the production delays to Dhruva Natchathiram, the film had changes within the cast as well. So Anu Emmanuel was supposed to be the main heroine of the film, but because of the delay, she had to drop out of the movie. She did Tuparivalan after this. She did pretty much Namavirtu Pillai and also the recently released Japan. And she was replaced by Ritu Verma, who was supposed to debut as a lead heroine in Tamil cinema with this movie. But sadly, because of the delays, she ended up debuting with her cameo role in VIP 2 and ended up debuting properly as a lead heroine in a movie with Kannum Kannum Kollayadittal in 2020, which ironically, she did a role alongside Gautam Menon in the film as well. Aishwarya Rajesh was supposed to be one of the leads in the film, and she was heavily promoted. A lot of stills came out, and she was heavily promoted within the music video for Orumenam, the first song that came out of the movie. But sadly, when they went into editing and when they went into the final post-production stages, they decided that that storyline in the film was going to be dropped. So sadly, all of her scenes were cut out, and possibly we won't get to see Aishwarya Rajesh in the final product. So after all these years, sadly, her character is not in the final product. Because the movie got delayed so long, even a parody for the movie came out way before the film itself. So Tamil Padam 2 was parodying a lot of movies, including Dhruva Natchathiram in the promotional material. And there's the kind of parody of this very famous shot that was released around that time. And yeah, it's insane that a parody for the movie came out before the final product of Dhruva Natchathiram. Interesting. I forgot to mention this, but before they even started filming this iteration of Dhruva Natchathiram, they did a really nice and very interesting callback towards the original promotional material from the Surya version. And it says on the paper, finally, which is a meta way of saying, finally, I'm going to get to do my dream project and finally get to make it into reality. For many years, we had promotional stills. We had another teaser trailer in 2018, but finally in 2023, we got concrete evidence and proof that the film was going to be released worldwide. And Gautam Menon promised, this is the year of Dhruva Natchathiram being released. It's been a wild ride, but can't wait.